the question, when I called you this afternoon and you asked, and I asked you the question again about what could we do to bring hope into the city? And I think I got stuck on we. On who is this we? Because we make hope differently. Aku spoke about scars. Some of us some of us could read the scars.
Mm-hmm.
Some people didn't know.
That's right.
Some we didn't know.
That's correct.
Some we was too busy making more scars.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I think, though, that the thing about Detroit is that Detroit has always been a place that knew how to read scars. Mm-hmm. We could read them. We could read them like tracks, like history, like stories your grandmother told you, like sitting down in a room with a bunch of strangers and becoming we all of a sudden, and reading hope out of what looked like deprivation, would look like misery, would look like hopelessness. But when you're reading scars, you realize that together a scar can be, while it's a symbol of what you've been, I think it's what you've been through, mm-hmm. where you already been, and when you join it together, it becomes, because scars have this way of, when they heal, they get hard and they protect you after a while. Now, the thing about Detroit and seeing hope is that, how it leaves that skin, it desensitizes you too. So, and so that we gets to a place where things, we join together and it becomes this armor of we, and so when hurt comes, it doesn't hurt so much. Mm-hmm. We don't hurt so much anymore because of how we come together. So I thought about that, and I started thinking about what happens behind the scars. Mm. Because after a while, we wear scars like a mask, and we hide behind the mask, because if we hide behind the mask, then we can still hope. Because in front of the scars, there seems to be no hope, no possibility, but behind madness, there's often all this wonderful things that happen. People tend to come together in the most ironic ways, I mean, street corners become churches, and abandoned houses, people who have broken, they collect other broke folks and they make family, and they begin to feed each other and take care of each other. And it's really the legacy from the old days, when during the time of great captivity, where people used to make families out of brokenness and broken pieces, and they used the scars this way, and they lived behind them, and they hoped for freedom, and they hoped for something else, Ridiculous. It is ridiculous to hope when you're all scarred up, when you look ruined, A pastor in the street that said runt. Because you're so ridiculous, you're supposed to be dead. Mm-hmm. Didn't I kill you? Didn't I try to kill you? I tried to annihilate you. How you're not dead yet? And that's the miracle. Because we're not dead yet, because we live behind the scars. We keep saying, we keep whispering life. And some little boy or some little girl who trekked to school, we talked about children wearing their mother's clothes to school, and no underwear, and no coats in the dead of winter, and no socks, and teachers who don't make a dime hardly reaching, because my mother was one of them, spent sometimes 50% of her check buying underclothes and things, and running to the dollar store on her lunch, and taking little girls in the bathroom and putting on underwear, and buying face cloths for them to take home, and that kind of madness. But she kept giving hope, and it makes me think about, it's so ridiculous. Because mother would go home, and sometimes I find out that she didn't have what she needed in her cabinet. But she said, I'm full, honey, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine, because she kept feeding hope in those dark places. And so I think that if we can dare to be ridiculous, to say, it doesn't matter what you think about me, how ridiculous I am at believing that Detroit is going to live because the city council is out of order, because you go down the list and name all the reasons why you should just give up because it's too ridiculous. But I'm more ridiculous than that because I can't. And I think that's what's so wonderful about the City of Hope, is because you got all these ridiculous people in here talking about, oh, we can do this.
Yes, we will.
Oh, yes, we will. Oh, yes, we are.
Yes, we can.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yes, we have.
And when the rest of the world is saying, but you're dead.
You're dead. You're, yeah.
And we're saying, we're so ridiculous. We say, come here and learn how to live.
the future.
Yes.
Learn the future.
That's right.
And learn the future.